All right, so I want to welcome everybody to tonight's session. We talked a little bit, or I talked a little bit, I guess I should say, about the path from resistance to surrender and how allowance is the action. One of the most important actions or verbs along that path is allowance. Which came up as a card I pulled asking for a card for tonight's group. So that's the energy with which we're starting tonight. So as often we do, I invite you to begin by closing your eyes and starting to take the deep waterfall breath, breathing in through your nose, a full breath in. And just a little refinement on this, because I have not emphasized it a lot. As we're breathing in our belly first. So the lower, actually what we're doing is filling up the lower part of our lungs first, and then the middle part of our lungs, and then our clavicles. And when we do that, our shoulders don't really rise, actually. Our chest opens up, but our shoulders don't rise. We hold that. I know you've had to take a couple of breaths now, I'm sure. Hold that for a moment and then drop it out through a mouth. And remember to push it all out, using all your abdominal muscles to push it out, to get all that carbon dioxide out. And so then your body automatically opens up and it can receive more oxygen. Right? These breaths actually literally carry oxygen everywhere in our body. A normal, what we end up doing is a normal breath. And I've said this before, but I'm sure it bears repeating. If it's something that can help us remember to be more conscious in our breathing, that our normal breaths are pretty shallow. And the more shallow the breath is, the less oxygen that gets into more parts of our body, right? It doesn't begin to get through the capillaries and may not even get in other parts, just, through the arteries, because the breath is so shallow. So to the extremities, right? May not get down to our feet as well, or our arms. And so this is such a wonderful opportunity to feed our bodies, right? We're breathing in air. So air is one of the elements and it carries spirit, right? It carries the life force. We breathe the air in. It comes into our lungs and it is then transported from our lungs into our heart, where it is it mingles with the blood, right? And through the blood, it moves throughout the whole body. So the element of air comes in and it is then transported at the very least into the element of water. The element of water carries the spark of life, both oxygen and the spirit of life, everywhere throughout the whole of our bodies. And when it reaches, say, the cells, it energizes, it nourishes, so it energizes the cells and it sparks like that light. It activates the light. Perhaps it even brings in more light into the cells, right? And then the cells at a certain level of density are made up of the material world, right? So we have the earth element within us. So the spark is the fire element. The cells, the structures, well, even the blood. Well, blood is water element. But the cells and the structures, the muscles, the bones, the organs, the fascia, connective tissue, all of those are the earth element, right? So we can begin to feel how Each breath moves through us and it takes all of the elements for that breath to give us and activate what it's giving us, right? It takes all of the elements to continue our life within us at that very elemental place. And of course, when we take in these really deep breaths, then we're able to release so much more residue from inside, so much more of the old energy that's in the cells. And this is quite literally true, that when we're not in optimal health, when we're not really active and giving our body, we're moving our body a lot, when we're not eating really well, when we're not breathing deeply, all those kinds of things, our cells cannot function as well. And it literally takes our cells about 50% of their energy just to do what they have to do, right? It's a lot of energy that the cells put out just to keep going. And when we're not doing those things, we're not in optimal health, our cells are not in optimal health, and they're holding on to old energy, right? It's one of the things they're doing. And so as we do this breathing, it's really helping the cells to let out more of that old energy. So this really is very deep. This work goes very deep. The other thing that this work does is it helps slough off receptor sites for stress, for the neurochemicals of stress, cortisol, adrenaline, other things, and that don't promote our health. They actually slough off. This is according to Candace Pert, the psychoneuroimmunologist, dear to many hearts. Beautiful, beautiful being, was beautiful, beautiful being, still is in a different realm. And they sprout up, which many of you have heard me say before, they sprout up new receptor sites for clear communication. Cells are like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, right? I was off doing this and now I'm a little clearer, kind of like us, right? We get clearer and we get clearer and we have more energy. I think maybe a similar process, right? So I just take some time. I didn't intend to do that, but you know how this goes by now. To really, really go into some depth with that and give you some time to feel that inside of yourself, as hopefully you've been continuing this deep breathing. Okay, so remember rolling your shoulders, your neck around, your jaw. You might want to move your jaw, right? Your waist, your hips, wiggle your toes and your fingers. Get some movement so this energy can help, it just opens up. It helps move things through too. Last week when we were on the call, I had said that we were going to do the square breath, which I think I'd only introduced once before. And I wanted to introduce it again last week, and then there wasn't time in the middle of things. So I just skipped right on over it, but today we're going to do it. So the square breath is a breath, as its name suggests, where you breathe into a certain count. And if you can, and so it helps, we're all very versed here at putting our hands on our high heart. And as we do that, it's much easier for all of us to feel our heartbeat. So why don't you do that right now, even before I share any more. And just feel your heart, feel your heartbeat. If you can't, And I'm still not sure about this. I've read that not everybody can, or perhaps not everybody can easily, but you can, of course, take your fingers and put them just on the outside of the tendon closest to your thumb and your wrist, right? Right on the other side of that outside tendon, let's call it. Thumb side tendon is your heartbeat. So you can feel it that way. So either way, because this breath works best if we do the counting in our breathing to our heartbeat. Okay. And part of what I mean by it works best is to say that it brings us more quickly into a higher heart-brain coherence. And some of you know at least something about heart-brain coherence. But the more we are in a heart and brain coherent state, the more we are in a state of peace and optimal well-being. And it's a very healing state to reach the higher levels of coherence. I've discovered that we need to become very quiet inside, very still. And I've also done it enough to notice that the posture really does make a difference. So people who are talking about meditation and talk about posture, it really surprised me to discover that, like just a fraction of a shift, would decrease my coherence. When I use the heart math EM wave is how I learned all this. Okay, so there are different counts that you can breathe into. And I want you to explore. A lot of people who are initially teaching this say breathe into 4 heartbeats, hold your breath for 4 heartbeats, exhale for 4 heartbeats, and hold the out breath for 4 heartbeats, forming a square, and then breathe in for 4 heartbeats. For some of you who've been practicing meditation or practicing breathing, 4 is way too fast. I generally am doing 8, starting with 8. Well, I know I almost always start with 8. And sometimes I can go up to like 16 beats and go all the way through, which is about 1 breath, then a minute. And the slowing down our breathing is a really powerful anti-aging skill as well, okay? So I have no idea where everybody is in this, but I invite you to take the next couple of minutes, maybe 3 minutes here, and practice doing this square breath. And I encourage you not to, this is my way of doing things. It's like, oh, well, if somebody told me they could do it 6 times, I'm going to try and do it 6, and then I'm going to try and do it 8, because that's kind of how I am. I just want to push the envelope. But really with this breath, you don't want to push. Do what feels comfortable, because if you try and hold your breaths for too long, or too many heartbeats, then you get really tight and tense. Okay. So see what feels comfortable, see what your body, this is a great way to be able to get a sense of what your body wants and how it wants to breathe. Like, to me, that's just a wonderful thing. It's like, oh, look, my body wants to take a deeper breath now. That's interesting. I can feel that inside of me. So I'm going to do that. But of course, I have to be quiet inside to be able to recognize that my body wants a deeper breath. I don't have to be as quiet to think it doesn't want such a deep breath, but to be aware of that deepening, I need to be quiet inside. And there are more things that I can tell you about this, but I'm just going to leave it at that. And take 3 minutes here. Well, maybe just 2, because you've been doing it and I've been talking. Okay, when you finish this breath, just release the breath. Couple of breaths releasing, just feeling that shift. Feeling the relaxation. Remembering, well, maybe not remembering, but knowing that that square breath is really powerful strengthener of the vagal nerve, which improves our immune functioning. It improves our heart functioning, and also because it's connected, the part of the vagal nerve is connected, well, both parts of the vagal nerve actually are connected to the limbic part of the brain system. A stronger vagal system gives us more strength to deal with stress and to decrease the reactivity in the nervous system. Right? Stronger vagal tone, another way of saying it, increases our capacity to be present. It increases our capacity to make eye contact and to have all the energetic dynamics happen that come from eye contact. And then we open ourselves energetically to share with others in ways that are healthy, allowing others' energies in ways that are healthy for us, right? Which are additional skills and above and beyond just having a strong vagal tone or strong vagal functioning. It's also calming, right? Also gets all that oxygen deeply into our bodies. It's kind of like we're nourishing and cleansing ourselves at the same time. So you've gone through this breath bath, right? That's nourishing and cleansing. So you might actually feel some more energy inside of yourselves, some more tingling, right? And of course, the square breath is something that is good to practice, good to add into your own group of techniques, of skills, of practices that you do. Excuse me. To be boosting your health, your wellness, your aliveness, your conscious awareness, your presence, right? All these things that we're working on to better release the past and the lingering, limiting, distorting effects from the past. Okay. So feeling more centered inside ourselves. See how much more you can feel your awareness in your heart, say in the whole of your torso. Instead of feeling the I am sensation up in your forehead, how much can you feel that I am sensation throughout the whole of your body, and perhaps even including your field, right? Whenever I tune in, excuse me, I have to get a cough drop. Whenever I tune in, I can always feel this field. I don't feel myself ending at my skin, hardly ever when I tune in. It's almost always the field. I am going to get a cough drop. Be right back. Okay. Okay. And so now I want to invite everybody, once you have a kind of clear sense of the shifting, excuse me, that you've already been making so far. I don't know what got in my throat. My apologies to you. Okay. Okay, so now let's take a moment feeling that greater quiet, centeredness, groundedness inside. And you might just quickly add to that, remembering to shoot down your roots into the ground, into Mother Earth. Feel them go down deep and at the surface to spread out wide to give you balance. Energetically touching the crystalline core at the center of the earth. Feeling that energy coming up and through you into your heart. You may feel it circulating around the whole of you, right? We do the breath where we bring it up, breathe up the back and then down the front, which is a great grounding breath. This time, just maybe focus on bringing it into the heart and then feel that light energy from above, that light beam from above that goes out to the great central sun. And of course, even beyond that, to the center of the universe. Who knows? Who knows where the center of the universe is? But, and feel those energies. Energy from the earth, the feminine energy from the earth, and the masculine energy from above, and feel them meeting in your heart. And so not only are we more centered within ourselves, we're more aligned with the feminine energies of the earth and the masculine energies of the cosmos. The earth elements that we have activated as we were talking about breathing. and feeling the ways the different earth elements are compose our physical body. And so this is our foundation tonight from which we do healing work. Okay, so this foundation stays. We know it's here. Come back if we need to remember it. And now let's move to something that we want to work on, right? Of course, it may be a belief. We do a lot of belief reverse work here, as you all know. It may be a situation that you're in. It may be a pattern that you're trying to shift. It might be a memory from the past. Of course, it's pretty safe to say that anything, just about anything that is throwing us off balance and distorting us now has its roots in the past, of course, and still is somehow activated somewhere back there. When we really, really free ourselves of the past, then it doesn't get activated. And not everything we can do that with, but most things we can. So what is it that, I don't know, is really hurting your heart right now? What is it that might be really scary for you right now? What is it that might be really agitating you right now? Causing you physical pain? Or what belief might you be working on? You tap on coughing. And really let yourself feel into the depths. What's the most upsetting part of whatever it is that's coming up for you to clear tonight? And see where the roots, what roots come up to you from it, from the past. When you ask yourself, what comes up? Are there any painful moments that come into your awareness? As many of you know, one of the ways tapping is the most effective is to take a particular moment that is really painful. And in that moment, using that moment, clearing everything we can from that moment, we free up the moments related to it. Of course, not completely, but significantly. Okay, so, all right. So let's start at the high heart, using a phrase that's going to work for you, right? So even though I'm feeling this, and then name it, or see it, or hear it, or feel it. I'm going to love myself and feel better now. Even though I have all of this, whatever it is, I love myself and I am going to heal this. I choose to free myself of as much of this as I possibly can now. And I choose to trust that it is safe for me to do that, right? To do this. And I remember that my body won't let me go further than what is safe for me. So I can trust what comes up. I can trust my ability to be with it and to let it go and to come back into more balance, more light, more relaxation, and more peace. Even though I have this, I love myself. And I am going to feel better now, no matter what. Top of your head. On the top of your head, let's pause here for a moment as you each invite, as you each acknowledge the sacred beings, the divine, higher dimensional beings, the universe, the spirit, your higher self, where those higher energies and beings are that you can let yourself open to, even if you're not convinced of their presence. To choose to feel them if you can, to choose to acknowledge them, right? These are beings of pure heart and intent. Only beings of pure heart and intent that are allowed within this healing circle. And you can kind of command, feels like such a strong word, it's so strange to think about that, but them to assist you in helping you to heal, perhaps more than you thought you could heal. Thank them for their presence, right? We feel a gratitude or imagine gratitude. And feel that in your heart, and then begin in your eyebrows. All right, so all of this fear, turmoil, or heartbreak, or worry, anxiety, stress, frustration, whatever it is, right? Remembering a moment, remembering what happened in the moment, that sound or that look or color or just how you felt in your body at that moment. On the sides of your eyes. All this. And breathe. Letting yourself feel it. Trying to release any resistance to feeling that you can be open. Above your lips, feeling this. Below your lips, feeling all of this. Collarbones. All this pain. All the way it affects my heart. on the sides. All of this. Feeling this. And then your wrist, tapping your wrist together, feeling this. Feeling all of this. Top of your head. Releasing this. Eyebrows, releasing. Now telling, really, I'm tapping into our meridian system, this release of whatever it is we've been carrying, whatever we've been holding on to, whatever it is we've buried inside, underneath your eyes, just kind of assuming like that's all we knew to do, and we just went on. We didn't know how, we didn't know about the long-term effects. We didn't have any other choice. We did the best we could. Above your lips. So we forgive ourselves now for not doing more. Below your lips. We forgive ourselves for, I don't know, anything that we're blaming ourselves for, whether it's shutting down, whether it's being defensive or reactive, whether it's being foolish, not making good choices, whether it's taking so long to get to a point where we've really stepped on a healing path, whatever it is, right? Forgiving ourselves, remembering we were doing the best we could. On the sides, and choosing now from a place of greater expansion and understanding and self-love and healing, to not be upset with ourselves for the past, right? Even if that means a minute ago, that's the past. Yes. Just letting go, trusting. You can let go of the energy of this. You can let go of the charge of it. We are capable. We are totally capable of freeing ourselves. We just have to, one, know how to do it, and two, do it and keep doing it. Let's come back up here to the high heart. Take a couple of nice deep waterfall breaths. Okay. Back up to the top of your head. So releasing all the charge from my nervous system. Telling my nervous system it's all right to let go of this pattern. It's all right to let go of this reaction. I am safe now. I am safe. On the sides. I mean, on the eyebrows, sorry. I was thinking just now, what came to my mind was working with a client earlier today and saying, you know, when in your life, when was it ever safe to feel really sad? You know, to let the sadness come up. When was it ever safe to let an adult know that you felt scared? and lonely. Sometimes as children, we just don't know to say those things on the side of your eyes, but now as adults, we can look back and feel the ways, for many of us, there wasn't enough emotional safety to feel our feelings. Underneath your eyes. Choosing to feel the safety we have created inside ourselves. Above your lips, to honor ourselves for that safety we have created within ourselves and in our lives, whatever that is, wherever it is. Below your lips. And thanking everyone and everything that helped us get to this point where we've been able to create this much safety inside, this much peace, this much love for ourselves and the world. Despite whatever is still unhealed inside. Collarbones, we are creating our inner world, our inner sanctuary, to be a place of beauty and peace, of order, of nurturance, of light and love and healing. And so much more. On the sides, like our own inner gardens, which I will do a meditation on soon. Wrists. Coming back and recognizing the ways we feel safer now. So the ways it is safe for us to let go of what we've been holding on to, whatever it is. The ways we've not been willing to tread somewhere inside because it didn't feel safe enough. We didn't feel strong enough. There's so much more trust in ourselves, our safety, our ability to protect ourselves, and for hopefully many of us, a feeling of being more protected, something that we may not have felt at all as children. Top of your head, releasing this reaction pattern from my nervous system, telling my nervous system I'm safe. Eyebrows, releasing sadness and sorrow and grief. The mourning of all our losses, or the losses we're aware of right now. On the sides, releasing feelings of powerlessness, feeling trapped or feeling enraged, and that very pressurized constriction that can happen in those moments. And that we can still feel inside as we recall them. Underneath your eyes, releasing all the fear and the worry, anxiety and stress. So all even the surface stress from the world right now. And the deeper stress from being out of balance, from overthinking things. You know, we generate so much stress in our systems from overthinking. Releasing our fear and worry for others. For ourselves, for our loved ones, for the world. above your lips, releasing any embarrassment, releasing also doubt and insecurity, uncertainty, self-consciousness, worrying about what other people think. Though none of us do that as much as we may have before. Quite convinced of that. Below your lips, releasing any and all shame that comes up. Remembering shame is the deepest, darkest emotion. I'm recalling a line from Dune, the books, that said that fear is the mind killer, it's the little death. And I think of shame as something like that, not the little death. It's like the trap door that keeps us stuck in darkness. So opening that trap door and letting that shame out, however it might be woven in to whatever it is you're working on, that. Letting it go, knowing that just having the intention while you're tapping here, and we're in this healing circle to let all of this go, facilitates release. Collarbones. Letting go of heartbreak and despair, of disappointment. God, there can be so much disappointment. Discouragement, hopelessness. It's kind of where hopelessness lives. We need to get it out. It's another kind of darkness. It has a pervasiveness that, like oily smoke or something. It may feel different to you. On the sides, letting go of guilt, all the guilt and judgment that we have against ourselves, against others. This tendency to be divisive, to see right and wrong and good and bad. And to react as a way of trying to generate safety from what we fear inside. Rest, releasing anger, releasing resentment. Resentment, that poison that we take because that's a poison that we keep giving ourselves because we're stuck in a negative reaction pattern with someone in our life. Releasing frustration comes from self-judgment, guilt, criticism. Releasing frustration, irritation, aggravation. Releasing intolerance. Coming up to your high heart. Freeing ourselves of all of this from every cell of our being. Breathing it out now. Everything that has been activated tonight, whether consciously or unconsciously, I breathe out now. I release now. I free myself now of all travail. And I let light and love in. I breathe it in and let it flow into me from above. Flow up into me from beloved Mother Earth. And I continue to release. For a relaxed place. It's almost as if I can release more diffusely when I'm relaxed, which, yes, of course, makes sense. See if you notice that yourself. See if there's anything there left that you notice, and take a couple breaths to continue to breathe it out. Ask the divine gathered with you. Ask your subconscious and superconscious or higher selves to continue this healing for you when you come back into more, let's say, regular consciousness of the world. Let's go up again to the top of your head. Breathing in light and love. Eyebrows, choosing to forgive myself and love myself more. On the sides, choosing to feel more love for myself, even if just a little bit. Underneath your eyes, choosing to bring in light and feel the increase of light into my heart. Feeling my heart like my own inner sun above your lips. So full of life and energy, and radiating out love and that light below your lips, radiating it all the way through our bodies. You might take a moment, and let's do this. Take a moment and select a place in your body where there's some kind of weakness. Okay. And actually take one hand and put it on your heart. Take your other hand and put it on this area of weakness. And then feel yourself as much as you're able. No pressure, no judgment, no trying, just feeling and trusting, letting it be. Breathing light into your heart. Feeling your heart warm up with light and love. Or your heart's center, but your heart really. And then sending that light and that love, that healing energy, that's what light and love is, from one hand into the hand that is supporting the place where there's a weakness or an imbalance. Sending love and light to that part of your body. Breathing out any residue of anything that is not of health, of wellness, of love, and of the light. You might change positions or move to another place in your body. And breathe. Nice, deep, releasing breaths. Coming back up to your heart center, tapping here. Freeing myself to expand my capacity for love, for light, for compassion, for connection, for empowerment and strength and size. Opening up to greater health and aliveness and freedom. And your wrists, freeing myself from all perturbances so that I may flourish and flower, blossom and bloom and dance within myself and upon this beautiful sacred earth. Coming up to your high heart, tapping back and forth, and expressing however it comes to you gratitude for this practice, for the people in the circle, our healing circle, for all those in our lives, for my team that helps make this happen, for the divine here with us, and express gratitude to our child selves that have the courage to open up and heal and to move back into, because of that, more wholeness within us. So expressing gratitude to ourselves, to our conscious selves, who have brought ourselves here and brought ourselves to this work, and to our higher selves who've been guiding us all along the whole time. And let's end tonight by doing the zip up, which I don't know if everybody knows. So zip up is a tracing up the central meridian, actually from the first chakra up to our mouth. On the in-breath, we're going to draw our hands up. You can touch your body or hold your fingers in front of your body within an inch or so. And on the in-breath, we're going to come up. When we reach the mouth, then we're going to pull our hands away and exhale. And do it 3 times, right? So breathe in, draw your arms, your hands all the way up. Exhale. Same water breath we've been doing all the time. In. Now bring one hand, your non-dominant hand. Bring it up and imagine a key between your thumb and your index finger. Put that key between your lips, and you're going to turn that key and lock it, pull it out, and believe it or not, but let's believe it. That locks in this kind of membrane. It sort of strengthens the membrane around your energy field, and it helps to lock in the changes that you have made tonight so that they don't leak out through holes in our field or through the bottoms of our feet or through the next challenges that face us, that we're more able to contain this place of sacred sovereignty. Temple of our bodies and our hearts and our souls, and the beauty of our bodies and our hearts and our souls and our intentions and our love and the way we love others and love ourselves. Encouraging you to bring yourself to these healing moments, recentering, rebalancing, perhaps more than you did last week, even just a little bit, as a gift of love to yourself. And with that, I wish you well. I wish you a week of strength and love, healing, wholeness, right? Feeling yourself healed, healthy, whole. Breathing into all that's good in life. With love, I will see you next week.